Houston, we have a problem. Or in this case, Manchester, we have a problem. Old Trafford, we have a problem. Red Devil fans worldwide, we have a problem. And this problem is way deeper than we had even imagined it. This problem is pervasive. It is intrinsic. It is DNA bound at this point, if it's not corrected. Manchester United 2, Grimsby Town 2. Losing out on penalty kicks to a team in the 4th division. I have a proposal for Jason Wilcox, Omar Barada, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. For 10 grand, 10,000 US dollars, not quids, not pound sterling, not EC, for 10,000 American dollars. I'll come over and play. Per week, that is, tax-free. And in fact, let me throw in an extra bonus. I have a friend, great friend of mine, Patrick Clark. I'll bring him along for the same 10 grand. It's a bargain. We have until Monday before the window closes. In fact, we're unassigned. So you won't even have to pay a transfer fee. Now, the good thing about us is we actually know what we will be doing on that pitch. Patrick Clark could give you 3 different positions. He could play the right fullback, he could play the right-sided centre half, and he could play right wing back. This is a bargain. Now, for my slow-ass self, I could be a presence in that midfield, and I could be an intelligent presence that damn well could do better than 75% of your midfield quartet. What is our problem, you may ask? Manchester United has a problem. And we will spend eons trying to figure out what this problem is. But let's stick to this game. Manchester United, Grimsby Town. Of course, the weather conditions weren't ideal, but the weather conditions weren't ideal for Grimsby either. And of course, I'm not going to fall into the trap to say the guys weren't trying. I refuse to believe at this point they're not trying. What I will say is that they're not good enough. There isn't enough quality all the way around in this team to make a difference. And, Sesko. I want to start with Sesko. We've seen him 3 times now. The first 2, you could argue, he's blending in. However, like I said before, I'm someone with a little bit of football intelligence. I do not see enough of Sesko to say, okay, this is a good footballer in that shell. I just don't. I'm sorry. He seems directionless. He seems to be hoping for an opportunity instead of making himself available for an opportunity. He seems content. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of that player that we brought in on loan. That Dutch player. The Dutch player that we brought in a couple seasons ago on loan. I think he was playing over there in Turkey. Tall guy. But at least with that player, he had great pressing ability, he had a good touch, and he had good link-up play. I am yet to see any of those with Sesko. Hopefully I'm wrong. as we go forward. Amad Diallo had a terrible game. I have no idea. And you know what? He's probably due one of those right now. But this wasn't the game that we needed him to drop the ball. It just wasn't. Andre Onana. You, sir, have made a compelling case for your dismissal from this team. We should allow him to go on a free. We should allow Andre Onana to just go. Just go. Listen. That's it. Thank you, sir, for your services or your non-services to this mighty football club. You have to just get the hell out of here. What the hell was that? Tom Heaton must go home at night thinking to himself, what more do I need to do? What more do I need to do? Am I just a figurehead at this club at this point? Certainly, you extended my contract. You gave me an additional year. I have no technical analysis of what happened last night in Grimsby. I am at a loss. I am at a loss. We struggled immensely last night against a team 60 places below us in the football tier. 60 places below us. Now, I must say, I am not yet. I know, guys. I'm a loyalist and I'm a faithful, so I'm not yet at Ruben Amorim out. But I think Ruben Amorim is at Ruben Amorim out. That interview, or that series of interviews that he gave last night, suggests, and I don't know if you were reading between the lines as I was he suggesting that it is clear the players do not want him there? I kind of felt like that's what he was saying. In a remarkable interview, Ruben Amorim says it is clear what the players want. And it certainly isn't success. So is he alluding to the fact that there are players still deliberately conspiring to get him fired? That's what I got from that. That's what I gathered from it. It's not lost, guys. The season isn't lost. We're just starting. And while I've seen, again, these kind of competitions, these League Cups, these FA Cups, etc., this is where the lower teams thrive. This is where the crowd gets intense, the crowd gets behind their team, the backing is and there's always big upsets in these types of competition. But Manchester United cannot afford or could not afford any major upset on their behalf. And again, this team conspired to fuck up a perfect opportunity. Forgive my language, but it's that kind of day. Now, what is also evident, guys, and again, as you could see, I'm broadcasting from work. I had to. It is very evident that Bruno Fernandes is the chemistry of the team now past him? Is he not comfortable in this new slot that I thought he would do well in? Is he intimidated by another alpha presence in the team, a la Cunha? Not so much Mbueno. Is he struggling with decisions from the manager? Did the Saudis turn his head enough that he's completely unfocused? These are questions we have to ask. Because Bruno Fernandes is not Bruno Fernandes. Anyway, guys, the inquest continues. I still say Ruben Amorim in. I still say we're going to have a better season. I still say we need to keep faith, we need to keep pushing. And what is for 100% sure and certain, I still say Andre Onana should be allowed to leave on a free. Let's not recoup $1. Let's not even attempt to recoup $1. In fact, I would pay him to leave. I would pay him to leave. And you know what's bad for me about this? Each time we put in a performance like these, in the back of my mind, I see the flagrant five. Garnacho, Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, Malaysia, to a lesser extent. I see the flagrant five smirking, laughing, thinking to themselves, watching our poor performances, thinking to themselves, oh, you're damn right. You can't scapegoat me anymore. This team was just bad. It wasn't my fault. Hey, my hands are clean. And in many regards, how could you blame them? How could you blame them? Anyway, guys, let's look forward to the weekend's game. And let's keep the faith. Let's keep the faith. Because after all, we are Manchester United icons.